Hey everybody, it's Jennifer and Gabby from The Trip. We're gonna be doing some eating, so please get some food with us and we're gonna talk about our around the world trip. Okay, so y'all, we have Wingstop. We have some seasoned fries. Ooh. We have wings. I don't know which type these are, but I think they're Louisiana Rub, Original Hot, and another one, Extra Well Done. Some veggie sticks, cause healthy, yeah. That health. Even though we're eating a whole bunch of unhealthy food. That's our lemon pepper. Coming back 2 years later, actually 3 now, because we did in 2016. Gosh, yeah. It's 2019 and finally finished editing the videos and just wanted to answer some questions. Yeah, we're just gonna take a bite. I've been wanting these fries. Okay, fry.
Wow, that is so delicious. What is your overall feeling about the whole round the world trip?
I loved it. Honestly, I'm glad that we did it. I'm super happy. There was a long trip. Gabby started somewhere differently and I started somewhere differently. We met up in India and then finished from there. Morocco, Egypt, India. I did a bunch of Europe with AJ, who you probably saw in the videos. We went to Madrid, we went to Paris, Netherlands. And Gabby and I went from India. She joined us in Greece, then we went to India. We just did a bunch of things in Southeast Asia, and then I finished by myself in Australia and New Zealand. I went to 24 countries and 36 cities. What about you?
I don't remember what the total amount of cities and countries was, but I started off in Iceland, then I went to Denmark, and then I went to Spain, and then I met up with them in Greece. And then, like she was saying, we went to India, Southeast Asia, China, Japan. And overall, I'm really happy that I did it because a lot of people now are like, oh, I want to travel, I want to take time off to travel. But it's like, ooh, I got mine out of the way.
Yeah,
so now I can focus on like trying to find a husband and stuff like that instead. But yeah, so it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Like, so what we did is after grad school, we finished grad school, and before we went and found a job, we took some time off. And so we took about 2 months and some change off to travel. Like, how much did it cost? Were you working during that time? How did you fund it?
Beforehand, I did some calculations to see about how much I was going to need. And as a part of the calculation, outside of the price of the tickets, the price of what I knew what the cost of living would be in terms of where I would be staying, I tried to give myself $40 a day. So that's $40 a day. That includes food and some kind of fun activity. When I did my calculation, it came out to that I would need something like $15,000. I buckled down, I got like multiple jobs, I got some side hustles on deck, and I made sure I made that money so I can do this trip because I knew it's something that I really wanted to do. Got some credit cards that I knew that if I met a certain quota with the credit card that I would get some miles on there as well. Met those quotas, paid off those credit cards, and made it do what it do.
We had a way more precise method. I used my student loans. Okay, I have some leftover student loans. Anybody that's taken out student loans knows that you can get some for school for your tuition, and then you get some extra for room and board. And I had taken a bunch of loans out anyway, so I was like, what's an extra $4,000? I initially planned to do what my friend had done, and I saw what he did is he racked up a whole bunch of credit card points and used all his points for flying. So he ended up flying for a pretty cheap card, and I tried to do that, but I couldn't spend enough in that short amount of time. So I was like, student loans it is. I used a website called Boots and All Travel, and this is totally not sponsored. Sponsor me, Boots and All. But it was well known in these travel blog communities. And what you can do is start with your starting airport and put all the cities that you want. And it creates itineraries for you based on length of time. So shortest duration of flight, longer duration of flight, but cheaper, and ones with the least amount of stopovers. I'm not exactly sure, but there's 3 different ones kind of in that realm. Like, we both planned a trip kind of in one direction, and my total came out to be around $4,500-ish. That's like a rough estimate. I don't remember off the top of my head. Do you remember how much yours was?
I don't. Okay. Mine was around the same thing. It was somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000, I think. And then I was able to use some of the flights, the frequent flyer mile / point situation for it, but still, I would say I at least paid for half of it.
In Greece, we did an Airbnb together, but most of the time we end up doing hostels, and we stayed in the dorms. The dorms are cheaper than private rooms, but you know, the caveat is you're living with a bunch of people. The hostels were really nice, like super nice. Kind of updated, and people were in and out. There was hardly anybody in the room. How did we plan what to do?
In Spain, I decided to take some Spanish classes, so everything was kind of already set up and planned for me because I was a part of a school and they had activities and stuff like that. Outside of that, I would look into what is that place well known for, what do I want to like make sure I get done before I leave this location. In Japan, it's like, okay, I want to make sure that I get some sushi in my belly before I leave. We planned around those main goals for what we wanted for that area. And then I also did a lot of like asking other people too, like, oh, what do you recommend?
I'm a big, let me take a picture at the main sites. Let me see what this is known for. Let me see what they talk about on the Travel Channel. And so I am not much of a hole in the wall traveler. Like my travel style is really see the big things and then kind of relax or go from there. I mean, I didn't really relax. Gabby knows, like, we did not relax. Like if it was the Eiffel Tower in Paris, I was like, we gotta hit the Eiffel Tower. Or if it was like Egypt, I was like, we have to hit the pyramids. Like it would be great to go on the Nile River. We were traveling for 2 months, so we couldn't buy souvenirs. So my biggest thing was let me make the videos so that could be my souvenir and take really nice pictures so that could be my souvenir. See, just the memories of taking the pictures were funny. Like in India, when I tell you that we were being followed by so many people because Gabby was tall, it was not a joke. I really wanted to get a good picture of the Taj Mahal, and I made Gabby like take 1,010,000 pictures. Our tour guide was so irritated with us at the end of it because of how many pictures we were taking. But it was such a good time. Honestly, everybody was it was such a good time.
It was totally worth it.
I know a lot of the videos seemed like we were complaining. I know, I wanted to say that. All of our experiences that we experienced were just kind of what our own opinions and our perspectives. All the countries that we went to were amazing. The people there were amazing. The people that were helpful to us when we asked questions were amazing. When I travel, like I say the great things, but of course I chat about things that kind of irritate me too. I mean, just like living in Los Angeles, same thing. Like there's stuff that I love about it and stuff that I'll probably complain about. So I just want to say that all these places were awesome. Highly recommend. Please go. The complaining was in the moment, how we were feeling at that time, based on all the circumstances surrounding us.
I'm sure like the majority of the complaining is related to somehow us getting scammed. And like the thing is that with traveling, there's an assumption that because you travel that you're coming from money or something like that, but we were coming from school, like, and I also used some of my student loans to help pay for the trip and everything. A lot of times we're also in hostels too, so it's not we weren't coming from like a rich like background, and a lot of people, the locals, just assume you are because you're able to travel, and it's just very frustrating to be lied to or having to kind of protect yourself from being lied to on a 24/7 basis.
Good segue into safety. One, we never got pickpocketed. Thankfully, we've never, like, none of our stuff got stolen. None of our stuff got pickpocketed. We never felt threatened for our life. We never felt like anybody was going to kidnap us. We never felt like anybody was trying to harm us in any way. So that was cool. Like, I feel like I'm more sexually harassed on the street in Los Angeles walking down the street than I was in any of those countries.
That's true.
Cambodia, those cheap foot massage places. I want to call the human rights services up on there because I'm like blink once for help, blink twice for like get me out of here. Moving on to natural hair. How did you keep your hair together?
Oh my gosh. So when I was traveling around the world, I was transitioning between my permed hair to natural hair. It was towards the end of the road for that. And so what I basically would do, actually I started off with my hair being straightened, and I tried to ride that train for as long as possible. But after standing next to like a waterfall in Iceland, like the little bit of mist got into my hair and then it started to get back into curly mode. And then from then on out, it was basically the story of, let me make these 2 dookie braids, wrap it around my head, and then make this shit work. So it was 2 dookie braids. Then I would take out the dookie braids to have a little bit of a braid out going, and then redo the dookie braids over and over again. So that was the next
Look,
hair.
them dookie braids.
Oh my god, and talk about how we didn't have enough hair products.
Oh my god.
We didn't come prepared with the hair products. I had like some shea butter shit that I made and it was too thick. I didn't even know what I was thinking about bringing it, but
I honestly don't even remember half the time what was going on with my hair. Like Gabby did, started straight. We all started straight because that's what you do as a natural. You'd be like, I'm gonna start this shit straight. Oh, I cut my hair before the trip. So my hair, I cut it about to this length because it was like much longer. I was like, let me cut it short because I didn't want to deal with it too much. And like Gabby I started short, I think. I don't think I started straight. I'm trying to think. Did I start straight? I don't remember.
I think you did because I remember in Italy or something. I remember seeing the video. You had your hair straight.
Yes. So like I said, we rode the straight train. We wrapped our hair every night as much as